Hey, what's up everyone? This is my JXD S601. It's an Android-based handheld, similar to the Yinlips. It's a little bit smaller, but it does run Gingerbread 2.34. It's rated at 800 megahertz. It comes stock at 600 though. JXD did release an update on their website that brings it up to 800 megahertz, but a lot of talented people have been able to come up with some tools that will allow you to root the device, overclock it, and install a new launcher, as well as a new keyboard layout so you can take advantage of games that were designed for the Xperia Play. I'm going to reset this device back to stock, the way it would come from the factory, and then I'm going to walk you guys through rooting and overclocking the device via the EasyTool application. Okay, since I'm going to be reverting this back to stock, I figured I'd show you guys how to boot into recovery. What I did is I downloaded the original firmware file from the JXD website, and I put it on my SD card and plugged it into my JXD. Then I'm going to boot into recovery by holding the menu button and the power button. It'll say upgrade, update.zip, waiting. And it'll boot into recovery. Then you're going to go down to wipe cache partition and press start. And then you're going to go down to wipe media partition, press start, and select yes, delete all media data. Then you're going to select apply update from SD card, and you're going to browse to your update.zip. What this will do is install the original firmware, the original launcher, and the original settings back on your JXD S601. Once it's done, it'll say install from SD card complete, and then you'll select reboot system now and press start. Okay, here's what the stock S601 looks like. We're going to have to enable USB debugging before we can run EasyTools and root the device and then overclock it. So you're going to go ahead and click on all apps and then click on settings, and then go down to applications, and then all the way down to development, and then put a check mark in USB debugging. Once that's done, you just plug in your USB cable and then plug it into your PC, and we can run EasyTools. Okay, now we have our JXD plugged into the PC. We're going to launch EasyTools. I'll leave a link in the description of this video. And you're going to double click on start. First things first, I want to thank Zepex and everybody else that have put time and effort into this application. You're going to select 0 to install root and press enter. And it'll automatically push the ADB commands to your device and root it for you. Once it's done rooting, it'll reboot the device, and then we'll do the overclock and the application installs. Okay, now that the device is rooted, we're going to run start again, and depending on which firmware you started with, either the 800 megahertz or the original 600 megahertz, you're going to select 1 or 2. I started with the original 600 megahertz, so I'm going to press 1. And now I'm going to press 4 to install the Overclock CPU and set CPU. Now this is just a little disclaimer. Overclocking your CPU on any device is at your own risk. Risk is pretty minimal, but it does pose a risk, so if anything messes up, don't blame me. You can select to overclock the original firmware, or you can select number 2 to add a little bit of voltage to the overclock and maybe squeeze out a few more megahertz. I'm going to do a high voltage kernel, so I'm going to select number 2. And mine runs smoothly with an overclock with a high voltage kernel at 1 gigahertz. So I'm going to select 9. Different devices are having success at different speeds. You might want to start at 850 and work your way up, but like I said, mine works fine at 1 gigahertz. So I'm going to select 9. Okay, I flashed my kernel and overclocked it to 1 gigahertz. The JXD is rebooted. I'm going to run start again. And then I'm going to select old firmware. And then I'm going to select install APK, new build prop, and new QWERTY.kl. By selecting this, it's going to install a new launcher, the updated query keyboard, which is the Xperia Play keyboard, and a new build prop. If you want to install multiple applications, you can go into Tools and then APK and just drop whatever things you want installed into this directory, and it'll automatically install them for you. I don't like the ZD box, so I get rid of that. And then I choose number 5. Okay, here we are. I rebooted the JXD after the flash, and as you can see, the maximum frequency for the processor is 1000 megahertz and 300 minimum. It can't get any simpler than this, guys, but if you have any issues, let me know and I'll try to help you out.